You were strong once. Maybe you ran track in high school. Maybe you lifted in college. Maybe you were just the guy people call when they needed a couch moved. Then life happened. Career deadlines, kids, stress, injuries, maybe the occasional I'll get back to it on Monday. That somehow turned into a decade, and now you're staring at the mirror, flexing, wondering where the hell that old athlete went, and if he's gone for good. Here's the truth: he's not gone. He's just buried under years of neglect, bad habits, and probably way too many late night DoorDash runs. And the good news, at 40, it's not too late. The bad news, you can't just roll into the gym and do the same chest and buys workout you did at 22 and expect miracles. Your body's different now. Hormones, recovery, metabolism. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you have to stop pretending it's still 2003. And that's what this masterclass is all about. Not motivational fluff, not secret hacks from some influencer with more filters than muscle. This is a blueprint, backed by physiology and actual research, to rebuild your strength and fitness and metabolic health after 40. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, no bullshit. And by the end of this, you'll probably understand exactly what to focus on: strength, cardio, recovery, supplements, and mindset, and how to start a 90-day reset that actually sticks. So don't click away. Don't have to listen while scrolling Instagram. Watch to the end. This is your kickstart. This is Forged Grit. Alright, now that we've established this isn't going to be another motivational Instagram reel of a 22-year-old telling you to rise and grind while sipping $9 pre-workout, let's talk about what this actually matters. This section is about something Shane Parrish calls clear thinking. Not hype thinking, not bro science, not your coworker Chad just got on keto so now you're on keto too thinking. Clear thinking. What does that mean for you at 40 trying to rebuild? It means stripping away the noise and finally focusing on the handful of things that actually move the needle. Because let's be honest, if effort alone was the answer, you'd already be shredded, benching 315 and casually sign up for Tough Mudders again. Effort isn't your problem. Misplaced effort is. So let's break down how clear thinking translates into fitness. This is where we start. The fitness industry thrives on selling you complications: detox tea, muscle confusion, fad diets, gadgets that promise six-pack abs while you sit on your couch eating nachos. The reality? 90% of that is garbage. Let's strip it back down to the foundation. Health boils down to 4 levers. First one, strength. Without it, everything else collapses. Strong muscles protect joints, improve posture, increase metabolic rate, and basically keep you from falling apart when you trip over the dog. Number 2, endurance. Not Ironman level unless you really want it, but enough to walk stairs without gasping like you scaled Everest. Your cardiovascular system is the plumbing of your body. If the pipes are clogged, nothing works right. The third lever, metabolic resilience. Fancy term for your body actually knows what to do with carbs, fats, and protein. The translation on this is insulin sensitivity, stable blood sugar, and not feeling like death after eating pizza. And the fourth lever, recovery, the most underrated lever. Sleep, stress management, rest. At 40, recovery is not optional. It's the multiplier that makes the other 3 work. That's it. Strip away the bullshit, and that's the formula: strength plus endurance plus metabolic health plus recovery. Not sexy enough for TikTok? Too bad. That's reality. So when you see a 6-week shred program promising abs by summer, ask yourself, does it actually build any of those 4? If not, congratulations, you've just identified a scam. Let's be real, you're not lazy. You didn't lose your athleticism because you were morally defective, you lost it because life happened and your attention got hijacked. Work, family, stress, it's like trying to squat with 3 toddlers hanging off the barbell. Your effort is already maxed out, but it's spread across 1,000 tiny things. And in fitness, along with many other things in life, effort scattered everywhere is effort wasted. Clear thinking means picking the right targets. So let me make it brutally simple. Stop tracking dumb stuff that doesn't matter. First thing, stop obsessing over the scale every morning. Weight fluctuates daily. Water, glycogen, sodium, bowel movements. Unless you're planning to compete in a sport where your weigh-in determines your paycheck, stop worshiping the scale. Second thing, stop tracking your pump. The pump is not progress. Arnold might have compared it to sex, but guess what? He was also on enough anabolics to kill a horse, probably. For you, a pump just means blood showed up. Congrats, you are alive. The third thing, stop buying into calorie tracker precision. The 432 calories burned your Apple Watch shows after a run, yeah, that number is about as trustworthy as a used car salesman. So, what should you focus on instead? 3 metrics. 1, strength progression. Are you lifting more weight, more reps, and more sets over time? If yes, you're progressing. Good job. Second thing, metabolic markers. It's not glamorous, but blood pressure, resting heart rate, blood sugar, cholesterol, these tell you if your body's actually healthy. You can be jacked and still be pre diabetic. And the third thing, daily energy. This is the canary in the coal mine. Are you energized during the day, sleeping well, and handling stress? Or are you dragging yourself like a zombie fueled by caffeine and shame? If those three are trending up, you're on track. Everything else is noise. At this point, most people ask, what program should I do? And that is the wrong damn question. The real question is, what's currently draining me? Think of it like a leaky boat. You don't start rowing harder if there's a hole in the hull. You patch the leak first. Otherwise, you're just rowing yourself straight into exhaustion. At 40, the leaks usually show up like this. 1. Poor sleep. You cannot outtrain 5 hours of doom scrolling followed by waking up groggy and maintaining coffee. Growth hormone, testosterone, and recovery are now wrecked. Next leak is crap nutrition. If your diet is 70% convenience food, 20% booze, and 10% random protein shakes, don't ask why you're so inflamed and tired. The third leak is neglecting recovery. Training hard but never deloading, you're just driving with a gas pedal pressed with the engine overheats. And the fourth leak is stress mismanagement. Work emails at midnight, constant pressure, no downtime, cortisol through the roof. That dad bod isn't from the beer, it's from chronic stress at this point. So instead of obsessing over finding the perfect program, invert the problem. Identify and remove the roadblocks first. Most of your progress will come not from adding more hacks, but from cutting the drains. Clear thinking is subtraction before addition. One thing to remember is that consistency is currency in all this. And this is a simple but brutal truth. Consistency compounds like interest. And just like compound interest, it feels boring in the beginning and then unstoppable later. Every workout, every decent meal, every night of good sleep is a deposit. You don't see the results right away. For the first few months, it feels like nothing is happening. You're grinding, sweating, eating like chicken and rice. The mirror says, meh. But here's the reality. The people who win aren't the ones who do the most in 6 weeks. They're the ones who just don't stop for 6 years. And here's where most people blow it. They build for 3 months, then life punches them in the face. Work protection, injury, vacation. Instead of adjusting, they throw it all away. They reset their account back to zero. Imagine putting $1,000 in the savings account, then pulling out every time you get stressed. You never build wealth. Same with fitness. You keep withdrawing your gains. Clear thinking means playing the long game. Stop aiming for perfect. A 20-minute workout beats zero. A half-decent meal beats fast food. Sleep at 10:30 beats doom scrolling until 1 a.m. And that's how you build compounding gains. Boring, simple, relentless. In 12 months, everyone will think you got lucky. Let's bring this all together in this first module. 1. First principles. Focus only on strength, endurance, metabolic health, and recovery. Number 2. Attention. You only need to focus on 3 metrics: strength progression, metabolic markers, daily energy. Then you want to invert the problem. Patch your leaks before adding more work. And the fourth thing, compound gains. Stop hitting reset, keep making deposits. This is the skeleton key. Everything else we cover in this masterclass, training, nutrition, supplements, mindset, plugs into this framework. Without it, you're just another person buying dumb fitness gear off Instagram at 2 a.m. All right, we're diving into section 2 of this masterclass. This will be the Forge Grit method to rebuild. So you've reset the way you think. You're no longer chasing shiny objects, 6-week fads, or fantasy that somehow your body at 40 is going to magically respond the same way it did at 20. Now let's get into the real meat of this masterclass, the Forge Grit framework. This is a blueprint. No gimmicks, no 10 minutes a day to get shredded, no Instagram influencer telling you to slam celery juice and activate your mitochondria. This is boring, proven, unsexy formula that works, if you actually do it. It works whether you're trying to lose 30 pounds, regain athleticism, or just stop feeling like an old man every time you stand up from the couch, because it's built around physiology and not fantasy. Strength should be first, and this is why lifting heavy is non-negotiable. If you're over 40 and you're not lifting weights, you are actively aging faster. Period. Strength training is not optional. It's an insurance policy that keeps your body from collapsing under the weight of time. And no, I do Peloton doesn't count. That's cardio. Great for your lungs, terrible for keeping muscle in your frame. We'll get into cardio soon. Here's why lifting heavy matters. 1. Bone density. After 35, bone density starts to drop, male or female. That's how you end up with fractures from just a fall. Heavy lifting signals your bones to stay dense. No amount of walking will do this. The third thing, muscle mass. Sarcopenia. This is muscle loss. It will accelerate after 40. Lose enough muscle and you lose strength, stability, and metabolism. Muscle is your foundation of youth. It literally keeps you burning calories at rest. And the third thing is why lifting heavy matters. Hormones. Lifting heavy increases testosterone and growth hormone naturally. You do not need a $400 a month biohacking clinic. You need a barbell. And the fourth thing, function. You want to be the 60-year-old carrying groceries in one trip, not the 60-year-old with a cane trying not to fall. Strength is function. So, what is the actual starting framework in keeping strength? Well, keep it simple. You want to focus on the three compound lifts: squat, hinge, which is deadlift or Romanian deadlift, and then press, bench, or overhead. That's your bread and butter. Then add in two accessories: pull ups or rows for back strength, and then some kind of single leg work, lunges, split squats for stability. Add in some mobility after into all that, 10 to 15 minutes of targeted mobility each session, hips, shoulders, ankles, the stuff that actually keeps you moving. 3 days a week, 60 minutes. That's it. Forget the complicated 6 day bro splits. At 40, it's not about how much volume you can tolerate, it's about how much recovery you. Now let's talk about your engine. And before you roll your eyes because you hate cardio, let me remind you, your heart doesn't care about your preferences. Either you train it or it fails you later. There are two gears you need. Zone 2. This is your base. This is one you hear about so much. And I don't care if you focus on heart rate, zone 2, maffetone, whatever it is. Low intensity, steady cardio where you can hold a conversation but still feel like you're working. Walking briskly, cycling, rowing, hiking, the kind of training that literally increases your mitochondrial density and improves your ability to burn fat for fuel. Translation here, this will make your metabolism work again. The second gear you need is high intensity intervals, short bursts of work where you are sucking wind and questioning your life choices. We're looking at hill repeats, sprints, hill repeats, assault bike intervals, and maybe some more hill repeats. This trains your VO2 max, which is basically the ceiling of your cardiovascular health. What you're looking for is probably 2 to 3 zone 2 sessions per week, about 30 to 45 minutes each, and then only one interval session per week of 10 to 20 minutes of actual hard work. That's it. You don't need to go run marathons, you just need a strong enough engine that keeps your metabolism sharp and your heart durable. Now, by the time most people hit 40, insulin resistance has started to creep in, silently. You don't notice it at first, it's a little more belly fat, a little more fatigue after meals. Maybe the doc casually mentions your blood sugar is a bit high. And that's how it starts. Here's the reality though, you cannot outtrain crap nutrition. If your diet is still 80% takeout, sugar, and whatever's easy, you're not going to rebuild. You're going to tread water until your health collapses. Here's the metabolic reset in plain English. Number one, cut processed crap. Not never eat pizza again, but stop making it your baseline diet. Processed food jacks your blood sugar, spike cravings, and hammer your gut health. You can still eat your pizza every once in a while, just not every day. Number two, prioritize protein. Protein is king. Muscle repair, satiety, metabolic function. It's the most critical macronutrient at 40. Aim for 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. And then go for a walk after meals. 10 minutes of walking after eating can cut blood sugar spikes dramatically. Think of it as a free insulin sensitivity training. And of course, then strength train. Muscles are glucose sinks. The more muscles you have, the better your body handles carbs. You don't need to go keto, vegan, carnivore, or whatever fad diet is trending this week. Just do these basics consistently and your metabolic health will rebound. Now, here's a part where a lot of people will screw up. You'll train hard, eat decent, and then burn yourself into the ground because you think recovery is optional. At 20, maybe you got away with it. You could go drinking on Friday night and still run a marathon on Saturday. Yes, I did that, and I do not recommend it. At 40, though, recovery is the multiplier. Think of recovery as the bandwidth for everything else. If you're not sleeping, if you're stressed 24/7, if you never take time to rest, your body doesn't adapt. You're just digging a deeper hole. Core recovery rules on this. First up, sleep. 7 to 9 hours. Blackout room, no phone, consistent schedule. If you brag about functioning on 5 hours, congratulations, you're bragging about brain damage. The third rule, stress control. That doesn't mean meditating on a mountain, it means having outlets, walking, lifting, journaling, even just shutting off email after 8 p.m. And the third rule, active recovery, mobility, easy walk, stretching, yoga, not Netflix and beer. That's not recovery. Tie in this with clear thinking as your focus is your fuel. If recovery is trash, your focus is trash. And when your focus is trash, your decisions will follow. And finally, in this module, let's talk about supplements, the billion-dollar industry built on selling you hope in a tub. If you're over 40, here's a no bullshit list that you need to focus on. It's a baseline stack, proven and worth your money. First up, creatine. Safest, most studied supplement, helps you with strength, muscle, and even brain health. Then you have protein powder. Convenience, it just helps you hit your daily protein without chewing chicken breasts all day, and no one wants to do that. Then vitamin D. Most adults are deficient, especially if you work indoors. Then magnesium. It will support sleep, recovery, and metabolic health. Make sure you've picked the right magnesium, that this magnesium glycinate. All other magnesiums are variations of laxatives. And then, of course, fish oil. Anti-inflammatory and will support your heart health. That's it. That's the core. You don't really need anything else. As far as everything else, it's mostly hype. Testosterone boosters, snake oil. Fat burners, just overpriced caffeine. BCAAs, it's a relic from 2005. Green powders, just go eat an actual salad. Supplements should support the foundation and not replace it. They're an icing and not the cake. If your training, nutrition, and recovery suck, no supplement will save you. All right, let's bring this all together for this module and this framework. This is a simple, clear formula for rebuilding at 40. 1. Lift heavy 3 times a week. 3 compound, 2 accessory, and mobility work. Train your engine with 2 to 3 zone 2 sessions in 1 interval session weekly. Reset your metabolism by cutting crap, prioritizing protein, walking after meals, and lifting. Recovery, like it's your job. Sleep, stress control, active recovery, and of course, supplement smart with creatine, protein, vitamin D, magnesium, and fish oil. That's it. No shortcuts, no excuses, no biohacks, just the fundamentals done relentlessly. Do this for 90 days and you won't just feel better, you'll realize you've been wasting years overcomplicating the basics. All right, we're diving into section 3, which is a mindset shift. Almost as important as the framework we just built. Let's be clear, at 40 or over, your biggest enemy is not age. It isn't your genetics. It isn't your bum knee from that one epic flag football game where you'd relive your glory days for about 36 seconds before your ACL decided it was retiring early. Your biggest enemy is your brain. Not the squishy gray stuff itself, but the operating system it's running. Outdated, buggy, and still living off mental VHS tapes labeled what I could do when I'm in my 20s. If you don't fix that operating system, every training plan, diet tweak, or supplement stack will get chewed up and spit out by the same broken loop of guilt, perfectionism, self-sabotage, and Netflix therapy sessions. So this section is about reprogramming the mindset. We're going to hard reset your identity, torture perfectionist fantasies, and install a grit feedback loop that actually keeps you moving forward. Let's dig into it. First rule, stop opening your sentences with "back in the day." Nobody cares. The weight room doesn't care, your metabolic health doesn't care, and Father Time definitely doesn't give a damn. Every time you say, "I used to be," you're literally giving your brain permission to check out. You're identifying with the past instead of the present. Psych research is clear. Identity drives behavior. Call yourself a guy trying to get back in shape, and your brain will happily file workouts under optional hobby. Call yourself an athlete rebuilding, and your brain will rewire effort as a non-negotiable. Athletes train, period. They adjust intensity, they manage recovery, they think long term. Weekend warriors, they dabble, burn out, and binge on Doritos like it's a profession. Your choice. So here's the shift. Stop chasing what you were, anchored to what you are becoming. All right, let's address the disease killing more 40 plus fitness comebacks than torn hamstrings: perfectionism. Perfectionism is procrastination dressed in a tuxedo. You tell yourself, if I can't crush 5 workouts this week, I might as well skip Monday. That's also like saying, if I can't pay off my mortgage today, I'll just burn my house down. Behavioral research shows consistency trumps streaks. Small wins compound and crush a fantasy of perfect execution. You missed a workout? Big fucking deal. Reset tomorrow. Act like garbage at the office party? Great. You're now the human equivalent of every nutrition study participant ever. Now just get back to work. Here's the rule. Never miss twice. You fall once? Fine. Fall twice? You're building a habit of failure now. You don't need to be perfect. You need momentum. Momentum is the real steroid at 40. All right, here's the next one. Forget motivational posters with wolves howling at the moon. What you need is a system. Enter the grit loop. Step 1, effort. Put in the work. Doesn't matter if it's ugly. Doesn't matter if you lifted less than Karen from accounting. Effort is the ticket. Step 2 in this loop, feedback. Track something real. Weights lifted, RP, sleep, mood, not vibes, real data. Step 3, adjust. Knees hurt? Adjust the load. Sleep suck? Adjust the volume. Blood pressure climbing? Adjust recovery and nutrition. Step 4, repeat for. This loop is why seasoned athletes keep progressing while weekend warriors flame out. The athletes see bad data as feedback. The dabbler sees bad data as failure. One keeps grinding, the other keeps crying. Here's a fun fact. Your body doesn't give a damn about your feelings. You can stomp your feet because the scale didn't move, but your fat cells aren't unionized. They're not negotiating with your emotions. This is why emotional overreactions are poison. You miss one workout and suddenly it's "I'm doomed, I'll never get fit again." Stop. Use data, not drama. Weight trending up? Cool. Now we know calories need adjustment. Recovery scores dropping? Great. We just learned training stress is outpacing rest. That's not failure, that's free information. The sooner you detach your fragile ego from the process, the faster you will adapt. Fitness at 40 isn't about beach abs at Cancun. Yes, you can get them, but it's more about being able to carry your damn groceries at 60. Look at the research. Lean mass and strength after 40 are the number one predictors of longevity and independence. Muscle literally keeps you out of the nursing home. So when you're grinding through another session, remember, you're not just training for the next month, you're building the body that carries you through the next 2 decades. Short-term dopamine versus long-term freedom. Pick one. So here's the mindset reset in one sentence. You are not trying to be who you were, you're forging who you will become. Athlete identity, process over perfection, grit loop in motion, data over drama, play the long game. Do that, and every other section of this blueprint will actually matter. Skip it, and you'll keep spinning in motivational quicksand until the next shredded and 6-week clickbait traps you again. Before you go diving into this blueprint, here's the truth. You are not starting from zero. Stop telling yourself that lie. You've been through the fire before. Maybe not this exact battle, maybe not in this exact body, but you've carried the weight. You've endured stress, you've fought fatigue, you've already proven you can survive harder things than a 90-day plan. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not starting over. You're starting from experience. Experience is scar tissue. It doesn't look pretty, but it's stronger than the flesh it replaced. Every injury you've had, every bad habit you've fallen into, every failed attempt, they've all left behind a map, a reminder of what doesn't work, a guide to you of what you need to avoid this time. That is leverage. That is the edge you didn't have the last time you tried to climb out of a hole. Think of it like coming back to the battlefield. You're not a rookie recruit stumbling into the fight with wide eyes. You are the soldier who's been there, seen the chaos, tasted the mud, and knows how loud it gets when everything goes wrong. You just stepped away for a while. You've been to the front lines, but the war is still inside you. And now it's time to pick the rifle back up. That's the reframe. Not zero, not a restart, a return. Here's the challenge. I want you to commit to 90 days. Not 9, not 19, not until you get bored, tired, or distracted. 90. That's the threshold. 3 months of actually sticking to it. Not in theory, not in excuses, not in I'll just double up tomorrow. 90 days of showing up. That's the line of I'll try to I did. And don't hide it in your head. Document it. Take notes, write down your training, record your sleep, track your meals, journal your energy, post if you want to. Keep it private if you don't, but lock it down somewhere permanent. Why? Because when the motivation fades, and it will, you'll need to record and remind yourself of the grind you're already putting in. Otherwise, you'll talk yourself into quitting at day 45 because maybe this is not working. So that logbook doesn't lie. The data will not sugarcoat it. The streak you built will stare back at you and you won't have time to break it. That's how accountability works. Not hashtags, not empty promises, proof. Now listen, I don't care if your first month looks sloppy. I don't care if you miss a day because life kicks you in the teeth. That's not failure. Failure is abandoning the plan altogether. The ethos here is simple. Adjust, do not abandon. If sleep gets wrecked, fix it tomorrow. If you miss a lift, get it next session. If your nutrition collapses for a weekend, reset on Monday. You do not throw out the whole blueprint because one wall cracked. You patch it, you reinforce it, you keep building. That's how you get to 90 days intact. Do not half-ass it. You know exactly what this looks like. Skipping warm-ups, half reps, junk intensity, calling it cardio when you walked on the treadmill while scrolling TikTok. Logging 8 hours of sleep when you really just stared at the screen until midnight. That's fake effort. And fake effort breeds fake results. This call to action isn't about dipping your toe in, it's about immersing yourself. So do the 3 times a week strength sessions like your life depends on it. Treat the cardio like you're trying to forge lungs out of steel. Treat sleep like it's a prescription. Treat nutrition like it's fuel for a war. You think that's dramatic? Good, because the alternative is sleepwalking through another year wondering why nothing has changed. This is not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming forged. Forged things are made under pressure, under fire, under heat. They're hammered, beaten, and reshaped until they're unbreakable. And that's what these 90 days are. Not a soft reset, not a gentle lifestyle makeover. This is the forge. When you come out the other side, you won't just be stronger or leaner or better tested. You will be a different person. The kind of person who doesn't negotiate with their excuses anymore. The kind of person who knows they can carry the load. The kind of person who earns respect from themselves again. That is the payoff. So here's how we're going to end this. You've been tested before. You've been broken, knocked down, derailed, distracted, and drained. And yet, here you are, still standing, still willing to fight. That tells me one thing. You are not done. So this is your call back to the battlefield. 90 days. Adjust, do not abandon. Document everything and never half-ass it, because here we do not wait for permission. We do not beg for motivation. We build, we grind, we adapt, we endure. This is Dr. Matt, and we are grit and determined.